So Patty, certainly I lived it, with you, but why don't you kind of help everyone understand, what the decision making and evolution of where we started in June with golf when we came back for that first PGA tournament, and then how it's evolved into where we are today with NFL and college football, and now we're getting into obviously college basketball. How do you see the last 7 or 8 months and how they've transgressed and moved forward with our way of thinking and producing shows?
Yeah, I agree with Mike wholeheartedly that it certainly accelerated the adoption of remote production, especially in our shop, right, with the production side and the technical side. So getting golf back on the air was our first challenge, and just the whole concept of how do we do that safely. And we started talking about bubbles, and we had red bubbles and blue bubbles and all sorts of testing protocols. But collectively, with the help of both the Golf Channel in Orlando, Stanford, the Switch in LA, we figured out how to remote a good part of the production, which gave us the social distancing, gave us the backup that we needed in collaboration with our partners to get the PGA back on the air. And those learnings were then applied for a PGA Championship, which we all know is a much bigger production, working hand in hand with the PGA of America and with our international partners, with Mary Critchlow and company, which was another massive production, first time getting it on the air with all the social distancing. Took those learnings, applied them to the NFL. We changed our testing protocols a bit. We discovered a place in New Jersey called Freedom Broadcast, which, Jason, I give you credit for that, where we do a lot of our remote production from, and mostly the production folks are there and some technical. So it's been an eye-opener for sure, between golf, NFL, college football. Now we're getting into college basketball with those challenges in the smaller arenas, with the last minute cancellations. Jason, you were with me side by side throughout this process. So I would say, the learnings were significant, both from a technical standpoint, as well as just the emotional toll I think it took on a lot of people, just being back out there and keeping these productions on the air for all of us.
And I think, Patty, obviously I have insider trading as it comes to your portion of today's panel, but I feel like also it was quick, decisive decision-making that got us through it. In areas where maybe we would have hemmed and hawed for, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of analysis, I think in single Zooms, we made enormous decisions like, we're going to keep all of production home, or we're going to do a bubble or 2 bubbles or whatever. That kind of seemed to.
I agree, Jay. There was no time really to analyze this to death. We just had to get it back on the air.